Welcome back everyone. For today's video, we do see the return of the great bot Mittens to chess.com. Now, those of you guys who are not around in the last year following chess, last December into January, there was this new bot on chess.com called Mittens, which took the world by storm. Now, Mittens has returned. We are at the start of December in the great year of 2023, and today we'll see if Mittens is as strong as it was back then. All right, let's jump right into the action, and here we go. So we're going to be playing as the Mittens bot. Now, last year when it came out, or about 12 months ago, the bot progressively started at about 3,600, and it slowly got worse and worse and worse over time. But today we are going to play against it once again, and we're going to see if it is at the same level, or maybe it's a little bit weaker. So since I'm playing against a computer engine, I'm going to start with the move G3, because I really don't know what the strength of Mittens is. So we get G3, E5 being played here. I'm going to play Bishop G2. Now, my idea here is to keep it very closed, very slow position here. Now, I could play C4. One thing I would say is when we look at this opening with E5 and F5 being played here, it would appear that Mittens does not have an opening book, although I could be wrong on that. So let's go C4. Meow, I feel empty, hardly here at all, and yet I am here forever. Okay, so let's go Knight C3. Let's transpose back into an English opening. It plays Knight C6. Okay, all pretty standard so far. Nothing super crazy. Now, I can play D3. I can also play E3. I can also go B3 and fianchetto. The big question is, which way do I want to develop this dark square bishop? So I'm going to play, I think I'm going to play D3 here. Now I can play bishop B4. I can also go G6 or bishop C5. All three moves are playable. Let's go E3 here. And I'm going to follow it up with knight G2 and then maybe D4. It also stops F4 because now I cover the square with both the pawn and the knight. Now here I could play D4. I can also castle. It's a little bit scary being super aggressive against the computer engine because of course you do know they're never going to blunder. On the other hand, I don't know if Mittens is playing at a 3,600 level or maybe it's programmed to play at like a 2,900 level. So I'm going to go A3 here, sort of maybe play B4, take some space. If it plays A5, for example, it gives it the B5 square. Okay, let's go B4, of course, very logical. Bishop B6. I think I'm going to go knight A4 to trade the knight for this bishop here. That way there's no scope. Let's take two Bs. It looks pretty good so far. So Mittens takes with a pawn. I think I'll go bishop B2 here, just activate the bishop. Again, it's very hard to put the bishop on this diagonal and activate it, so it might as well go on this one. Let's castle. I do have to castle sooner or later. And now it goes knight G6. Now I could play F4 here. It's a fairly aggressive move, but I feel like it makes a lot of sense to attack in the center of the board. And now Mittens plays B5. Logical move. If I take, it has some queen B6 trick, I assume. If I go C5, it's also playable. I'm just going to take the pawn here. So will Mittens play queen B6? Will it take? Okay, so if I take on C6, what's going on? I'm kind of tempted to go for this with takes, queen E3 and king H1. But again, without knowing how strong Mittens is, it's very hard to make this decision. I can obviously take. I can also play queen D2. My gut says that at least in this first game, since we're going to play a couple of games, my gut says I should try and figure out what the level of Mittens is, kind of like guess the elo. So I'm going to take the pawn and we'll find out. So it takes. So I go king H1. Now I'm up a pawn temporarily. This is very imbalanced, I guess you could say. I've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. I feel like I should still maybe be better with the bishops, but again, I don't really know for sure. So it takes on C6. Now bishop C6 is a move. Rook C1 is also a logical move. Queen E1 is no, queen E1 probably hangs D3. I'm starting to dislike my position to some degree. So I think what I should do here is maybe go rook F3. Doesn't really do a whole lot per se. B5 is playable. Problem for me is this dark square bishop's on diagonal. It's very closed at the moment. So I think what I'm going to do here is play this move knight to G1, and the reason for this is black takes. Maybe I have rook E1 to hit the queen. It goes bishop D5. All right, so it's trying to trade off the pair of bishops. Now I could take on E5. I mean, I really want to play something like queen E2 maybe, or queen C2. Takes is possible. It doesn't feel wonderful, I guess you could say, but it probably isn't that bad. So I'm going to take the bishop. We'll take with the pawn or the knight. Takes with the knight. Okay, not surprised. Now, of course, I'm also noticing that Mittens is moving instantly. It is not using a lot of time here to play the moves. So that is, I assume, a good sign, because the less time that it uses, the more likely it is to blunder. So let's take on E5. Probably takes, and I think I'll go queen E2 here to try and... Oh, it takes with a knight. That is not the move I was expecting. I'm actually kind of happy to see that move, because now after I trade off pieces here, well, let's just say I take, for example, queen e5. We only have a set of knights on the board, so if I can get this to like a rook end game, for example, I have pretty decent chances to draw the game. Now if I go rook e1, the thing that I just noticed is there might be a knight g4, rook e3, knight f2, king g2, knight d1 idea, which looks kind of nasty, so I probably can't do that. Knight f3, knight d3 is no good, so I think I have to take the knight on e5. So I'm going to take, I assume we get queen e5, expected. And now the big issue I have is this diagonal towards my king. Now I could obviously go knight f3, queen c3, queen c1 maybe. Doesn't look great. Queen b3 is also interesting. Actually, I kind of like queen b3 because I pin this knight on d5. I can activate the knight. I can go rook e1. And now we get f4. So after f4, I think I will play, I mean, I kind of want to play rook e1. I kind of want to do it, but then there might be a queen c3 trick. If I put the other rook, then he goes queen g5 or queen h5, kind of nasty. gf4 is a move. g4 probably not so good. I'm trying very hard to survive here more than anything because I am in trouble in this game. I'm definitely worse here. It's just a question of, can I survive? So if I go knight f3, queen f5, knight d4, that's probably fine. So I think I'll play knight f3, attack the queen. Let's see what it does. I mean, it has queen h5, goes queen f6, which to me looks a little bit dubious. Maybe dubious is the wrong word, but I thought I could maybe try to close the king side here with g4 and maybe rook c1. Again, it doesn't look wonderful. I will say that it doesn't look great. I'm actually kind of worried that my king side is slowly falling apart here somehow, but maybe there's some way. Maybe, probably not. I'm probably just lost actually. If I take queen h3, that's a big problem. If I go g5, queen h3, that's a big problem. If I go rook f2 maybe and rook g1, I mean, I'm trying very hard to survive here. I guess rook g1. I have a feeling I'm probably losing already, but trying to defend this. It goes c5. Okay, now that's something that I'm very happy to see. Oh wait, I thought I was happy, but maybe I'm not, because then the queen gets over to, if I take, the queen gets over to c6. So maybe I'm not happy to see that actually. I can go b5, I guess. It looks very iffy. Maybe d4 is a move to try and open up the center a little bit. Takes d4 maybe. I mean, I have a feeling I'm losing here. It's just a question of whether there's some way to create enough counterplay to survive. So I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to go queen b7 and queen e4. I'm going to give up a pawn here. I'm going to try to activate the queen to e4. Maybe hopefully after takes I'm fine. It goes queen f6, which is a surprising move. Definitely not the move that I expected. If I go queen e4, there's just rook e8. If I go g5, g6 maybe. I'm trying to push the pawn. Maybe activate g6. Maybe try to go for something here. Again, I have a feeling that I'm close to lost, but let's see. Maybe, I mean, I really feel like I've got to go for it at this. I've got to go for it with g6 and knight h4. If I don't try to win here, I don't know what I'm doing. But there's rook b8, and did I just trap my queen? No, I've got queen e4, rook e8. I've got knight g5 maybe. No, knight g5 here it takes. So I go. Uh-oh, I'm getting, it's some kind of trick. I think my queen's getting stuck at the wrong spot. I go back, it's gonna go rook e7, and now I'm just cooked. Now I'm cooked hard. Let's go. I guess I'll play queen b2 here. Nah, I'm just lost. Now it just takes the pawn, knight h4, rook e6, or rook b8, and this is not going to end very well for me, unfortunately. I guess I'll go queen a2, plays h6, and I guess I can try. I mean, there's no reason to resign here because obviously for this video, when you guys see it, like, it's like, if I resign here, like, why did I resign? What's the point? Whereas to me, it's very clear that I'm already lost, but I'll play it out just so you guys get some idea. Essentially, the pawn's too weak, the knight's too strong, and my king is very weak here on this light square diagonal. So whether it's c4, c3, whether it's rook a7, rook a8, I will lose here. I guess I'll go rook f1, attack the knight. There's like rook b2. Geez, disaster. Oh wow, pure disaster. Actually, I go here and knight f2 just ends the game because the rook on e7 covers the e8 square, and now after rook f2 I'm going to lose the knight. Rook covers the critical squares and I lose the game. So let's resign this game and let's play a new game. I'll play Mittens again, but this time I'll play it with black. Now after that first game, what I would say is that in general, I think I have a pretty good read of the level. I don't think it's playing at a 3600 level. I'll say that. I don't think it's playing at like the Stockfish level. But I would say that it's still probably, if I had to guess just based on the ratings of computers or online rating system, whichever one I use, is probably playing at about 3000-ish level. So that doesn't mean that I can't maybe survive the openings, but I'm gonna have to be very careful to try and not lose, despite the fact that it's not playing at the absolute Stockfish level. So I'm gonna play a classic hippopotamus setup here. I'm gonna play like h6 maybe knight d7. Now one thing that I'll get a very quick read on, actually, that I should point out, is that based on this opening, I'll get some idea on whether it has an opening book, and it would appear that it does not have an opening book based on the way that it's playing this opening so far. I'm not happy to see h4. I'm really hoping that it plays h5 somewhere. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't go h5 and sack. That's actually what I really don't want to see. So how do I do this? I don't want to move the rook. I don't really want to move my king. Knight f6 is a move, maybe. I don't really like knight f6, but I'll play it anyway because I have knight e4. Okay, I get d5. Now that is a dream move. d5 is the dream. That is exactly what I was hoping to see. So now the question is, if I go knight g4, it's probably going to play h5, and I'm going to end up in trouble or not. I guess I'll play knight g4. It's going to go h5, I'm almost certain. Yeah, of course. I take, and then I go g5. I mean, my position's a little bit ugly here, a little bit ugly. It's not terrible, mind you, but it's also not great. Now the question is, do I play f5 or not? Now I think at some point it wants to go g3 and f4, so I need to somehow I need to match the knights, or I need to trade. F5 is always a move, but I mean, the only reason to play f5 here is after takes castles g4, I go like king h8, somehow clog the position and try to draw. Do I want to play that kind of long position? I don't think I do. So I'm just going to castle and go for f5. Hopefully it goes g4. Does not. Let's play bishop c8. I bet actually against a human I would play f5 and feel very good, but against a computer you never want to open up a position. So all right, this is good. So now that we've closed the king side, this is what I want if I'm trying to make the draw. I'm gonna go king h7, basically just to make sure nothing can happen here. It goes knight f5, expected. Let's go. I can always take here. Question is, should I take? No, I think I'll go bishop f6 first. I'm gonna take and then go like bishop e7 later if I can. I'm not sure how exactly I do that, but eventually I think I can. Maybe I'll go. Actually, no, I figured it out. Yes, I figured it out. I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna take and go knight f6. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, that still doesn't really do a whole lot. Let's just go knight f6 here. Maybe I should play knight e8, knight g. Maybe I'll go knight g7. I still feel like I'm in some trouble. I'm gonna play knight g7, try to trade the knights. It's gonna let me trade, of course, and now I'm gonna clog it with f6. I'm gonna go f6, lock up the whole king side, and now it's gonna be a game of the queen side. So let's go queen c8, queen b7. I just have to make sure there are no sacrifices. That's the main thing. Did I just blunder f4? I was a little bit worried that maybe I blundered f4, but it doesn't do it. So all right, so now I feel like I've got a pretty decent position. I of course am never pushing anything here. My goal here is a draw. We get a4, I'll play a5, and I feel like I'm doing pretty well, like queen e8, maybe queen c8. As long as there's no f4 pawn break, I should be fine. It's one of these three pawn breaks. As long as none of these pawn breaks exist, I should always be okay here. So I think what I do is, I mean, I don't like this. I think I'm gonna put the rooks on a7 and a8. Maybe, I don't know if it makes a difference, but we're gonna be playing a long game here of hide and seek, I guess you could say. It's where like I just sit back and wait, he sits back and waits. Eventually at some point I expect it to try to play like f4 or b4. Maybe the main thing I need to do here is make sure b4 is not playable, because c5 is covered, f4 is covered by both the pawns. So I cover these captures, but b4 I need to make sure this pawn can always be captured on a4. So okay, now I'm just gonna chill. I've got my basic setup that I want. Let's go back, probably queen f8. I don't know if it's programmed to sacrifice material. That is the one thing. The last pawn push was move number 33, and we're currently on move 46. There still are 37 moves to go before we've reached that moment. Now I think maybe I'll just put my queen on e8 here, just basically sit and wait. We're gonna have this dilly-dally dance where we just sit and wait. I'll go queen f8, queen e7, queen f8, and just back and forth. See what it does. Let's go here. I'll just wait. We're now at move 53, so we've made 20 moves, so we have 30 more moves to go before we get to the moment when it has to push a pawn or the game ends in a draw. And according to the rules of chess, if you play 50 moves without a pawn push or a capture, the game ends in a draw. So we're well on our way, I think, to getting there. The only idea that I see for white is some knight c3, knight b5, which to me doesn't look very doesn't really change a whole lot. So I'm just going to keep sitting and waiting. I also don't know if it might not be programmed to take into account the 50 move rule. So I'm just going to sit and wait here, move the queen back and forth. Let's go queen f8, queen d8, and I just sit and wait. Let's go back. 63. We've now made 30 moves, so we're now 20 moves away, and I don't think b4 is ever really happening here because I'm really well prepared with the stack and the bishop to hit the pawn on a4 if he ever pushes because of the placement. So I'm just going to sit and wait. Queen d8, queen f8. I guess this is 67. We're almost to move 73, so we're almost there. Okay, 68. 73 would be 40. So okay, let's see. I assume that the algorithm probably has something programmed to be aware of the 50 move rule, but maybe not. So I'll just go here, probably back. We're now like we're moved 72, so we're 10 moves away from 50 moves. 73, and let's see what it's going to do. So we'll go queen f8, queen d8 back, and I think at this point I have saved the game because we're at 75. I don't think there's really time for white to prepare this b4 pawn push. And if it's going to play bishop d3, now it definitely can't push b4. So I just keep waiting, and we're 6 moves away, and I should draw this game if I'm not mistaken. Go here, queen d8, queen f8. Okay, now see, now here it's trying to go knight b5. Wait, now it's trying to force in b4. Is it in time to force in b4? It is. Oh, it is. It forces in b4. Okay, so the show continues. So of course I take. It takes. Now I could take the knight, but I think I'm gonna go bishop f8 and rook a5 here. And this should still be a draw because basically for me the only issue is these two pushes, and white can't really go f4 or c5. I mean, I could play rook c5 here and just clog it completely. I don't know if this is a good move or not, but I was wondering if I should maybe sack the rook here and try to create something more, but to me it doesn't seem logical, so I'm just gonna go rook a5 and just keep waiting here. Let's go king g7, king h8, maybe just sit and wait. Let's keep waiting. King g7. I don't know if it will play f4. I don't think it will, but it could. I was really hopeful that I was going to get the draw there, and then I didn't get the draw because it pushed the pawn. But I think I don't really see a good break. c5 I can always just take. I go back. Last capture was on move 83, so that means 133. I'm not very good at math, but sometimes I still remember these things. So I'm just sitting and waiting. If it can't push either of these two pawns, which are both guarded by multiple sets of pawns, then I assume that I should be able to draw the game. Let's just keep going. King g8, slight mistake because maybe there's some c5 d6, but I'll just sit on the dark squares anyway. It didn't play it, so just sit and wait. Let's go king g7. I almost can actually pre-move here because it's not going to push a pawn until the absolute 50 move rule comes into play. So it might go f4. I somehow doubt it, but I guess it could. We're at 104, so we have 28 moves to go. Unless there's some way it can put a knight on like b3 to hit the rook, like 1 2 3. I still don't see a way. And if you ever move the knight, you hang the pawn on a4 too. So I don't really see a way for Mittens to break through against me here, but it could find a way. The main thing is just not blunder. I've got my plan. I just sit and wait. It's kind of like, you know, what's to say, it's a Netflix and chill. So I'm just sitting and chilling here. So let's see what Mittens will do. I think it's going for the double stack on the a file, which, or not. I thought it was going to stack and try to do something towards the rook on a5. We're at 114, so we now have 19 moves to go. I can even just pre-move this. I don't think it's not going to push a pawn until we're right at move 50, if it does at all. So I can kind of just keep chilling. So let's keep waiting. We're at 118, 15 to go, 14, 13. And then I'll just go again. It's not going to push until like move 48 or move 49. Now it did go knight e4, which I was not expecting, but queen still guards the pawn. I guess I'll go bishop e7. I don't need to play bishop e7, but I kind of just want to make sure that everything's guarded here. Maybe even just bishop e8 somewhere, because now I'm worried that might go c5. So okay, so now it's definitely trying. Now it's getting ready to do something. So let's go here. Maybe I go queen a8 even, like queen a8 to overpress. Gonna go knight c3, of course, or not. Okay, let's go here. Just have to be careful because this is move this is move 129. So as long as I get to move 133 and nothing gets captured, I should be fine. This looks okay. This looks okay. This looks okay. And I think this is 50. Move 50. We get the draw against Mittens in the second game. Now, for an encore, you guys, I think I'm going to give it one more shot. I'm going to play it with white this time. Second game with white, we'll try one more game. So that second game was kind of a little bit boring, not super exciting. So let's go one more. I think I'll play G3 again. I'm not going to play the hippopotamus. I wanted to play in English again like I did in game 1. Let's just play knight f3. I'll try to play a normal opening here. Let's go bishop g2, fianchettos, d6. Okay, let's play d4. Now we have a classic fianchetto king's Indian here. King's Indian set up for black, but white fianchettos the bishop as well. Let's castle. Castles. Okay, let's play c4. Very standard so far. Many approach. Now it's funny, Mittens actually plays c5. Now this is the move that Hikaru Nakamura played in the 2020 I believe 20 I get the years confused 2016 Olympiad that was held in Baku, Azerbaijan, against one of the great commentators on his channel, Jan Ludwig Hammer. Hikaru won the game with black in the Olympiad playing the c5 move. Now there are many ways to play this. I can go knight c3. I can also play, I think, takes and bishop f4. I think I'm just going to play knight c3 and keep it simple. It'll probably play knight c6, I would assume. No, it takes. Interesting. Okay, so I'll take with the knight. Slight grip in the center here over the central d5 square. Queen e8 looks a little bit unusual. It's probably a move, but it looks kind of weird. I'm wondering if I can play some knight b5 maybe. Let's go knight. I'm wondering if I can play like queen d7, knight d4, make some kind of funky draw. Oh, Mittens says no draw. It goes queen c7. It does not play queen e8. Okay, Mittens clearly angry, does not want to draw against a weak player like myself, so I will play b3 to guard the pawn on c4. Knight c6, very reasonable. I think I'll play bishop b2 here after takes. Now the bishop is on a nice long diagonal. Queen b6 looks kind of a little bit dubious. I don't know why, but let's go knight a4. Attack the queen. Let's go back. Is Mittens going to take the draw here? No, Mittens rejects my second draw offer. So now I'll go rook c1, and it plays queen a5. So after queen a5, I can obviously take. I mean, e3 is a move. Queen d2 is maybe. It feels a little bit loose. I mean, e3 looks like the better move. Looks like a better move. I think I'm just going to play e3, protect the knight. Maybe queen d2, maybe queen e2 and rook d1. Queen d2 looks completely fine though, so I think I'll just go queen d2. And now the knight is protected by the pawn, so I really have no issues. I could play h3. I'm worried that if I go rook d1, there's some bishop g4, so I'm trying to figure out, can I get away with h3? But I think I'll just go rook d1. Probably will play bishop g4, and then I'll go. It goes queen h5. Interesting. So it wants to go like bishop h3 and knight g4. So now I do have to be a little bit careful. Like knight c2 and knight f4 is an idea, maybe. Knight c2, maybe g5. But I'll still play knight c2. I mean, knight d2 also probably reasonable. e5, interesting. Not the move that I was expecting there. I guess I'll trade. I don't like my position particularly. Yeah, it takes with the pawn. I don't like my position here. I think I'm okay, but it feels like it's kind of going the wrong way. So I'm gonna go queen e1, maybe queen f1 and h3. I assume I go here to guard the knight. Is there bishop f3 or d5? It's actually starting to look very scary. I'm worried about d4 now. Like d4 and bishop h6 is incoming. I might be in real trouble here now. Let's see. So if I take rook c, no, but then he takes and goes d4. I think I'm in some serious trouble here. What do I do? What do I do here? This is problematic. All my pieces are somehow in the wrong square. If I could get an h3, like if I could just kick this bishop and force it to go somewhere, like whether takes or back, that would be fine, but I don't have time for h3, so I think I'm actually in a lot of trouble, mainly because of my rooks. Maybe the rook c2 d. It's like I need two moves. I need 1 2. If I go here, there's d4 takes bishop h6. And what else do I have? Yeah, this is bad. And if I don't do anything, there's like d4, there's knight e4, so many options for black. This looks really bad. How do I even try to play here? It's crazy how like one wrong move, it's crazy, like this one move, this queen e1 move basically I think cost me the game. Or maybe it was rook d2. Maybe I could have gone rook c2 and it'd be different, but now, yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble here. So what to do, as the saying goes. Knight c3 is a move. Queen f1. I mean, queen f1 feels like almost like an only move, but then d4, and what am I even doing? I'll do it. I'll just do it. There's also knight e4. Oh, is there knight e4 and knight g5 here even? Yeah, this is gonna get ugly. There's like knight g5, knight f3, and he's actually going for, like, he's trying to mate me, which is quite rude. I mean, I could wait. If I trade knight f3, take, maybe I'm okay there. Takes knight h3, king h1. Maybe I'm okay-ish. So takes. It's also no h4 just knights are in g5. Takes. Bishop h3 or something. Oof. Looks very scary for me. King h1 feels like the move that I should play here. Kind of. But I'm worried about bishop f5 as well. This looks so bad. I think I'm gonna get mated here somehow, but ugh, this is disgusting. King h1 doesn't even do anything. This is really ugly. Maybe I can trade. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna trade. I'm probably gonna lose the game, but who cares? I also told you guys going into this game I was gonna try and play something interesting, not try to turtle it and make a draw. So I'm gonna trade all the rooks. I'm gonna pray now, basically. Now if I take, there's bishop h3, like queen c1, knight f3, takes king, and then there's a lolly on g2. So takes bishop h3 and then knight f3, there's a lolly mate. So I don't want to allow the Jean-Baptiste to lolly checkmate here. That would be very wrong. I can play f4 maybe, probably not, but oh my gosh, now the bishop's, oh wait, the bishop's going the other way to a6 now. Oh great, now the bishop has the other diagonal. Oh, that's just lovely. That's just great. Now there's another problem in the position, as though I didn't already have enough. Okay, so yeah, this just looks so bad. I'm wondering if I can actually take and go like bishop g2, knight f3, and king h1 and somehow pray. Like, I'm really wondering if I can do it. I don't think I can, but I'm curious, because I think if I don't do it, I'm lost. But also after takes, there's the e4, knight f3, so I might just be completely busted here. And knight f3 is a threat to win the game, because if he gets the two bishops, and I have to trade my light square bishop around my king, I just get mated. So f4 maybe. I don't even know what I'm gonna play f4. I don't even know what else I'm supposed to do. I'm sure this loses, but I don't know what else I can do here. So king h1, of course. At bishop a6, I have bishop f3, and I'm still kind of pretending that I'm okay. Okay being a generic way of putting that I'm not lost. I guess I just take and pray. Bishop g4. Okay, so why did it go d4 first instead of bishop g4? I mean, I'm still trying, I guess, with knight g1. I'm still trying in the game. I'm not completely lost here. I mean, I'm still worse after takes. But maybe there's a miracle, like queen c4 and queen c8 or oh wait, queen c4, there's queen a5. Wait. Maybe I'm in my back. Let's try it. I feel like maybe I've got, oh, and now I just lose. If I take the bishop, there's just one move tactic. And this reminds me of what's it? There's a classic saying, he's still only human from the Matrix. Yeah, and I just blunder. If I go here, there's bishop e6, and there's queen d1 because the bishop covers. Or wait, no. Actually, if I go here, takes, there's queen c5 to hit the king and the bishop. So if I go here, there's this and the multi-threat. So that doesn't work. So I basically just lost. Probably I was lost anyway, to be fair. But just to show you guys, I'll play here. I made the arrows, but you guys probably don't understand what I'm saying. Oh, it goes there. I mean, bishop e6 was also winning, but I guess the point is queen d1, and black's just pushing p, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Let's go here, I guess, just to move to play so it doesn't end right off. Let's take. Go here. And I'm sure there's a mate, like queen f3, probably queen h5. Is that the mate? That's the mate. I can obviously throw in the spite check, but he just captures, and now king is wide open here on, I mean, can I go bishop? Oh, if I go here, there's bishop f5, queen g4 checkmate. Beautiful. I'll play it anyway just so you see it. Here I could block, but there's bishop f5 and queen g4 checkmate. I'll play it out so you guys see it. And alas, or queen h5, both work. Alas, I lose this third game to Mittens. So my general takeaway from having played against the Mittens bot, which is returntochess.com, is that it's quite strong. I don't feel like it's playing at like the 3600 level. There are a couple moments during the game where I felt like I'm in trouble, but it hasn't found like the knockout blow. So I don't think it's playing at like the absolute maximum like Stockfish, but it's still much better than any human who's ever played the game of chess. That much is very clear. So if I had to give a rating, I'd probably say somewhere around like 33,000, 3,100 ish, whereas Stockfish is playing like 3,600, because I don't feel like I'm getting getting like blown out of the water. I feel like I'm just getting smoked, but I'm not just lost from move 1. So that's my general takeaway. But Mittens bot is now back on chess.com for the month of December. So if you guys didn't have the chance to play it back in January, I believe it was, of this year 2023, you have a chance to play it once again. I do recommend you check it out. Of course, you go to play and then you click on this computer tab, and you'll be able to select the bot. So make sure you do check out the Mittens bot. So on that note, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video of me playing against the great Mittens, one of the inventions of chess.com. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button below, and I will be back soon with some more great YouTube only content. See you guys. Bye.